Okay, thank you, Thao, and thank you for all of your contributions, everyone. Now we will start with our discussion section for our impact supporters to engage directly with our impact innovators. Now, I would like to invite our first impact supporter, Mr. Sanjay Sahu, to share your thoughts or questions for Mr. Hendrik Kohl on the Impact Forest UG project with the ID pitching goal within 2 to 3 minutes. So Mr. Sanjay Sahu, please start your sharing. Thank you.
Yeah, hi everyone. Hello, Hendrik. My question is about this initiative has been done for by many non-profit organizations. Like they are doing this also. So how will in the future we will get money out of this initiative? And second thing for this project, you will require many resources and many labor force employees and everything. So how will you scale this thing?
Mhm. Yeah, for your first question, how we gonna have revenues or how money is coming in? We are, well, we started in Europe, Germany, and other European countries. We are working, we want as a technical consultancy company. We are a for-profit company. We work with non-profits also. Yeah, and for this business model to produce a site for biochar production, this is very interesting because it can be sold to farmers. There can be gained carbon credits, which is a huge market, and recently biochar is one of the very promising key issues in carbon credit in carbon credits. And yeah, so the soil enhancer, which means terra preta with biochar, can be sold as a component to agriculture, to gardening, and this is also gaining a quite big return from curiosity, from general knowledge in schools, and because people are always some more concerned about the environment, and biochar is getting a good niche of interest. And scaling the labor force, well, we work together with the community engagement. That means, okay, schools hire us and they say, okay, we have this garden. This is just a flat highway where water runs off. We want a little forest, which can be really very easy to install. And the thing is, from the social side, these community plantings are one of the best things which I did in my business career until today. That has so much benefits that we, from our clients, schools in that case, heard that the benefit is even better than school trips, and because it is a bit going back to the roots, planting, getting things growing, seeing everyday plants and this. And it all starts from the soil. Would like to remember that everything is starting from the soil. It's not really the plant itself. It has to be at the soil. It has to become a sponge effect. Yeah, and the companies also, they do plan the plantings with their a team with the which is a social super enhancer. Yeah, that's and municipalities and towns. Yeah, they hire us and we manage the community plantings. That's a bit where the workforce comes from. I hope I could.
Yes, that's great. Yeah.
Okay, so amazing. Thank you so much for the sharing and the response from you, Mr. Hendrik Kohl. And also thank you for the sharing and also the question from Mr. Sanjay Sahu. Yeah, so now let's listen to our next impact supporter, Miss Juliet Low. Please share your sharing for Mr. Rocco Ciracì on FlorenceCare project with the goal of problem solving within 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so Miss Juliet Low, please start your sharing. Thank you.
Hi, Rocco. I just wanted to get in touch with respect to certain areas that I thought was, areas that we thought we were going to enter as well, but, we decided to pull out because I think there were too many complications with respect to those areas. I wanted to ask about sort of like the liability situation. Where do you do kind of like background checks, employment visa checks, whether these people are legal to work in the country, whether or not they have the credentials to be podiatrists or, I don't know, whatever other services that you might have, physiotherapists and things like that. And how do you execute those checks? And like what happens in the event that a mistake was caused and, someone was adjusting someone's neck and then breaks it, and then who owns the final liability? So I think that was my first question on the sort of liability. And then the second part is, you mentioned about expanding. So the expansion plans and stuff, I was wondering in terms of, because you are sort of like the Uber for home healthcare, but Uber is very simple. There's one paymaster. But then in your situation, you have the state as the paymaster, insurance as the paymaster, the patient themselves who are paymasters. So how exactly do you navigate around this? Because then the entire situation becomes more complicated. And as you expand throughout Europe, Europe has different paymasters. Like, if you expand it to London, it would be the NHS primarily and some insurance. And then how do you go about navigating this issue? Thank you.
Thank you so much for your question, and I think that the answer will wrap up everything and also the other question that I received. So actually, let's talk about technology. The differentiation with the other competitors that are in the market, for example, in Italy and Spain, that are the closest that we see, is that we are not a marketplace. We define ourselves as a software that share the possibility between the two sides to get connected. And the reason why we work only with the healthcare professional, not generic caregiver, so not people that are taking care like hygiene, food, and buying stuff for the patient, but professional selling services, is because they have a college. So once they are enrolled in the college, they receive like a plate number. So to get in our platform, they must to share this serial number, and we check it through API. So it's an automation that works during the night. So if you are a nurse, you give me this afternoon your registration. By the night, I will check it automatically with the college through this database access. Once we receive the green light, you are officially enrolled from the next day to share the area based on zip code and the timetable that you want to work. About the services, and this is another reason why we work with the college, with the healthcare professional that has a college, that for every services there is an official procedure. So what happened now in the market, that mainly in South of Europe, you pay cash on hand, this professional. So for the same need, like post-chirurgical medication from a nurse, the nurse can spend 2 minutes or 25. So now it's up to them. What we do, we say, for these services, there is an official procedures, and they must to have a checklist and sign it on their app, the app for the professional. So only at the end of this checklist that have been checked and signed, they can be paid. Moreover, there is, just because they follow these rules, I can provide them an insurance. So if something happened, they already demonstrated, and they must demonstrate that they didn't just check, but they followed it. And if everything was compliance, the insurer will cover for the eventual damage. So this side, thanks to the technology, is covered. What we do, and for example, it's a big point of differentiation with competitor, we write down the procedures and we send this periodically to the college to get the approval. So the other competitor that are just simple marketplace, they actually sell the phone number and stuff renting between these two sides. So this is a big point. Regarding who is gonna pay, it's it's a process that is developed by the time. We will start pure B2C, so it's the patient that pay the small fee for the usage of the app, and the professional that pay the small fee for the money that they earn. Then there are possibility. For example, I've been in June in London for a class with NHS at Warwick Business School, and I had chance to work with NHS. There is a huge need from them to integrate services, because the way how they provide community care and primary care is not efficient anymore. So also there, B2G, we call it like this, when is the government to pay, it can be easier than, for example, in Italy or in Europe, in the rest of Europe in general, where you need to pass through public code. It's a things that we are exploring, because we are in connection with the public healthcare system, but not done yet. I mean, for us, doesn't change so much, because the cost of the service, it's always the same. The final person, the professional that we get the money for these services, it's always the same. It's just who is paying, passing through the app. So on our side, the most complicated things can be a technical integration between our system and maybe public healthcare system, but not so much in terms of business model. Same story for the insurance. We already spoke with Zurich, because they were looking for solution for, and actually what we can do to them is sell them prepaid pack of services, so they can split down to their people, to the people that buy Zurich product, and they can use it through the app. So on our side, it's not so complicated. Regarding the expansion, I mean, if you are compliant with GDPR in Europe, you can work everywhere in the world, because the standards are lower. So we already are compliant on the highest standard in terms of cybersecurity and data protection. So exchanging the model in the other continent, it's more related with the business model and cultural problem than technical problem.
Thank you, Rocco.
And yeah, thank you so much for such a very dedicated sharing, right? Okay, thank you so much, Miss Juliet Low and Mr. Rocco Ciracì. And yeah, so now Hai Thảo, please come back and continue our section. Thank you.
Okay, thank you guys. So I think like it's time for Margaret. So hi Margaret. I think it's time to invite one impact supporter to giving you insight, sharing, or any question. So I would like to invite impact supporter Hassan Zabati. So Hassan, are you ready to give like any suggestion or like feedback or question for Margaret? So you are, as I know, you are a serial entrepreneur with experience in establishing and leading more than 20 companies across Saudi Arabia, and the Gulf and also the Middle East. So what do you want to share with the project Elevate SME Ltd for the goals of ID Beijing? So we would like to hear from you. Please, Hassan. Hi, Hashan. Can you hear me? I just want to double check. Yeah. Okay. So I think maybe Hashan maybe not here at the moment. So I think I will go to again. I want to go to Juliet. Juliet, I know you just like spend time to give Rocco lots of question inside, but I see you have question, and I take a look at the profiles, and I know you are the co-founder and CEO of May Without Borders, and with experience in entrepreneurship lectures, and also mentor and guest just at US and many other university. So what do you want to share with the project Elevate SME Ltd for the goals of ID pitching? Please go ahead.
Sorry, I don't understand what I need to do.
Oh, sorry. So I mean, like, you with your background, we asking you to, like, maybe when you finish to hear Margaret to share her process on, like, Elevate SME Ltd. So if you have any insight or suggestion or, like, idea you would like to communicate with her, so please go ahead. Yeah.
I think for Margaret, I gave her one comment, which was essentially, if she's only looking for 150,000, you should just approach the UN, because they have a grant that they give out to, and especially I think there was this particular product that you were talking about that was for sort of disaster relief. So if it's for disaster relief, there's a global trade conference that they kind of get around, actually. It's called the Natural Disasters Expo. I would attend that conference and then kind of like get connected to all the people that are inside disaster relief efforts. So Natural Disasters Expo, it's a global event. They go to different countries in different months. So just figure out which one is a good one to go to for you. And then on top of that, I would definitely approach the UN and figure out for the different departments that require disaster reliefs, whether or not there is a grant that can be offered. And sometimes they actually get the associations, the different departments under them directly to work with you to literally already become your customers. So you don't even need the fund, and you already have ready customers. And then in that respect, I would get them to sort of like prepay for your services and your products. And then you never know when the disaster strikes. So I would go around just booking everyone on a prepaid mode. And then we will be there when you need us, so that you don't actually have to produce so many items. You just have to produce a certain amount, but then you're creating like a package for like insurance in case anything happens. We will send this packet of whatever by air freight to whichever country. And then you can work with air freighters.
Amazing.
So it's just some ideas on my end. Thank you, Tao.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Juliet. That's amazing. I'll pick it up with you.
Okay,
Thank
cool.
you.
Yes, that's so nice. Thank you, Juliet, and thank you, Margaret. So I think it's time to closing up the today. So